about this new government program that can cover your college tuition. Over $2.6 billion.
This is Dabu7. Taking a look at what we can expect for the rest of this year. We are now a week into 2021. 2020 full of madness, the manipulation, mayhem, chaos, tyranny. I mean, you name it. The beast has shown its fangs, so to speak. Most people can get a sense that something's not right. The world that we came up in, of being free to roam across the country, go wherever you want, do whatever you want, however you want, has now changed. And it seems like they're taking this in a direction where this whole thing is going to start to fraction off. Some people are not going to deal with some of the things that have been put on their plate. They're not going to accept some of the things that, per se, this government is putting on the people, like with this election. Whether you love Trump, hate Trump, whether you fell for the left-right paradigm or not, one thing is clear. This establishment and this hand that controls everything, they're going to continue this. There is a pattern here of wiping out our jobs, of bringing people to their knees, putting them on universal basic income, where they're taking away the fiat cash around the globe so they can track your every move digitally. This is why everyone is pushing out the CBDC. Yeah, you've heard me say that many, many times, because I've been warning you since 2017 that this is the beast system. And everyone has a choice. In the months and years ahead, as they continue to implement this, you can take their mark and you can go out there and you can interact in their beast system, or you can take the narrow path. This is your choice. But you can never say that no one ever came along and didn't warn you of where we sit, where this is going. They're playing us like a fiddle, where they play both sides, turning everyone against one another. The one thing most people fail to see is the hand that causes the chaos. You see, there's been a really good meme going around explaining this. It talks about that if you put a bunch of black ants in a jar with a bunch of red ants, fire ants, that they will get along. But when you shake the jar violently, they will start to kill each other until they kill everyone off, thinking that the other one is the enemy. When all the time, the real enemy is the one that shook the jar. Can you see who it is shaking the jar? That's what you need to ask yourself. And if you're not sure of all this, you need to join us over here on the live streams, where I break this down clearly, where the gloves come off, where we dive into this stuff like we can't on any other platform. They're nuking accounts on Twitter as well, so make sure to follow me on Parler. Lots of people piling in over here with everything going on. And also hit that subscribe button here on YouTube. So many people saying they're not getting notifications. It's just a repeated thing. You need to hit the bell notification. Make sure you're subbed if you want to see more videos. So we will get through this, and we're going to be talking about that more. Links below. Much love.
Life is full of challenges, but you don't have to pad thai them alone. Talk to your pad thai today to find out if pad thai.
Hi everyone, how are you today? I hope you are always healthy. I'm sorry that yesterday's video made you move to another platform. I do it because I have to. I'm just avoiding the things I don't want if I post the video here. I hope you understand. By the way, today I have something interesting to discuss. It's about the 5 traps used to shut down and limit human consciousness. Without further ado, let's get started. The human condition at present is one of slavery, a new kind of slavery, where bondage is psychological and spiritual, rather than physical. Human consciousness is the target in a broad war of control, where people willingly acquiesce to social conditions which clearly fail to serve their best interests, even doing them harm. We accept the status quo of warfare, fear, environmental destruction, greed, corruption, poisoned health, and false scarcity, because we've been herded into traps which hold us hostage with false beliefs and the appearance of comfort. In reality, though, breaking through these traps would allow us to apply the principles of peace, sustainability, exploration, acceptance and progress to improving the human condition. Firstly, though, we have to see and acknowledge the boundaries of the prison we are in. Mark Passio said, "There's 5 essential boxes for human consciousness. There's 5 things that shut human consciousness down. 5 models that attempt to keep people rigidly inside of their walls. And if you're inside these boxes, you're not going to expand your awareness to understand the actual truth of what's going on in our world." Before I continue the video, please give a like if you've learned something. And don't forget to subscribe, and also click the notification bell too, so you won't miss any update. And watch to the end to avoid misunderstanding. Thank you. If anybody identifies with left or right, conservative Republican, liberal Democrat, etc., the self-identification with a particular political party is one of the most divisive states of consciousness there is in our world today. This is clearly evident in the quality and character of public discourse and how it merges with financial interests to create stress, pressure, and conflict at every level of society. The major cultural religions of the world are perhaps the greatest trap for human consciousness ever devised and put to use as a means of controlling people. This has been corrupting the world and killing people for thousands of years. The acceptance of the possibility of a better existence after death is an excuse to ignore the quality of life one is living in this existence and is used as an excuse to participate in wickedness. We of course see how this paradigm is being used against us today to create a major rift among the people of the earth as global leaders push for a new religious war, pitting Islam against Christianity. No one can win if this battle is allowed to escalate. Not what I call real science, but what I call ultra-rigid skepticism in the form of quote-unquote science that's peddled for modern science in today's world. Science has become a religion of sorts, where ideas are vetted in a strange process of study, mixed with peer review, mixed with corporate and monetary influence, mixed with egos. In this paradigm, there is no room for ideas which challenge long-held assumptions and theories about the world, stifling human progress. Rebel researchers like Graham Hancock and Rupert Sheldrake are examples of how interesting ideas about where the human is coming from and where it is headed are shut down by the rigid thinking of a scientific world, which pushes wholesale skepticism as affable quality. Machia Freeman writes, "Science places itself on a pedestal and assures everyone it has dispassionately arrived at its conclusions. Meanwhile, however, it is full of assumptions, denials and limitations, and makes the serious mistake of presenting its theories as facts. The errors of mainstream science are gladly seized upon by technocrats, eager to use science and technology." See how this paradigm is being used against us today to create a major rift among the people of the earth as global leaders push for a new religious war, pitting Islam against Christianity. No one can win if this battle is allowed to escalate. Not what I call real science, but what I call ultra-rigid skepticism in the form of quote-unquote science that's peddled for modern science in today's world. Science has become a religion of sorts, where ideas are vetted in a strange process of study, mixed with peer review, mixed with corporate and monetary influence, mixed with egos. In this paradigm, there is no room for ideas which challenge long-held assumptions and theories about the world, stifling human progress. Rebel researchers like Graham Hancock and Rupert Sheldrake are examples of how interesting ideas about where the human is coming from and where it is headed are shut down by the rigid thinking of a scientific world, which pushes wholesale skepticism as affable quality. Machia Freeman writes, "Science places itself on a pedestal and assures everyone it has dispassionately arrived at its conclusions. Meanwhile, however, it is full of assumptions, denials and limitations, and makes the serious mistake of presenting its theories as facts. The errors of mainstream science are gladly seized upon by technocrats, eager to use science and technology to further their own ambitions of control." Another box for human consciousness which is relatively new in our world is the New Age movement, which abandons genuine science in favor of feel-good platitudes, which keep people sidelined from taking action and fully participating in our world. It is a unique open-source belief system which its tenets are described by the following 10 bullets here. 1. Ignore the negative. 2. Never get angry. 3. It's all one, so it's all good. 4. You can never really know. 5. Accept injustice, never resist. 6. A watered-down law of attraction. 7. Turning the other cheek, it evens out the scars. 8. Chaos should be feared. 9. We must feel good all the time. 10. Truth doesn't need to be defended. This is the greatest trap of all, enslaving nearly everyone on our world. At the root of this deception is the general belief in money, that is, in the belief that money has more value than life itself, and is therefore more precious than anything life has to offer. Because of this, countless schemes, scams, fiat systems, debt enslavement programs, frauds, and thefts are able to siphon the energy and time of human beings, leading us nowhere but to our own ruin. The monetary system we have today operates in this way, with a tiny ruling elite having devised and now controlling an international system of manipulation, which gives unlimited power to those who create money, without having to produce anything of actual value. It is impossible to understand the conflict, chaos and division in our world without understanding the ways in which human consciousness is limited, corralled, and enslaved by these paradigms. At this point in the age of communication, however, it takes a certain willfulness to continue to operate within these 5 boxes. Carlos Kukibura writes, "It's much easier to fool people than to convince them that they have been fooled, such is the nature of confirmation bias and other psychological tools of manipulation. Breaking free of the ancient historical constant of mind control is an ongoing process of waking up out of a state of denial. Spiritual emergence and awakening involves a physiological break from the consensus social agreements of our cultures." Comment below with more topic ideas for me to discuss. See you on the next video. Stay safe and healthy.